Hello, my friend. This is Clyde. Impact people to the max. Recently, a group of us went to a Mexican restaurant after church. The food there is super good, especially the enchilada and the tacos filled with ground beef. Anyway, the hostess who seated us was a pleasant young lady, not stiff and impersonal. She had some good vibes. I noticed that she had tons of tattoos all over her arms and neck and fingers. I'm curious about tattoos because I think they always have something about the tattoo more than just a fad. So I asked her to explain one of her tattoos. She immediately pointed to one around her neck. What she said next just blew me off my seat. It was a beautiful and complex artwork, and written in the middle of the artwork was the word royalty in cursive. Before I could ask her the significance, she joyfully said, "I got this one because I am royalty. Wait for the rest." She did not miss a beat. I'm trying to create suspense here. "I am a child of God, and that makes me royalty," she said. I was speechless. I was speechless because in my world, we tend to think that tattoos are worldly or demonic depictions. But here's a young lady proudly wearing art on her body that speaks of her status, a child of God. I almost ran out to get a similar tattoo on my body, but that was just a fleeting thought. I thought that it was the coolest experience, and in a restaurant, no less. Today, let us talk about how we can enjoy Jesus and let others see and know. Jesus was like the coolest Galilean in his time. One day you saw him and his homies, disciples, hanging out at a wedding party. From the sound of things, the religious ceremonial section had passed, and now this was the eating and drinking and making merry part. After all, how else would they have run out of wine? Some of us would have left the party long ago because we don't want to give anyone the impression that we are at a party having that kind of fun. But Jesus and his friends, they stayed around, and a wonderful opportunity was created for him to show himself as the miracle worker. He turned gallons and gallons of water into wine. Is that cool or what? I'm sure he got a few high fives and commendations. Some people must have said, "I didn't know you could do those things. That's awesome. What else can you do?" And who knows, but maybe out of that one miracle at a wedding party, no less, Jesus might have got a bunch of people believing in him. So here's what I'm thinking. Jesus was hanging out with a large group of people. I don't think he had sent out a WhatsApp message to people a week in advance before inviting them to an open-air meeting. I think he had been having these moments where he would come around and start teaching, like at the seaside or under a tree or on a hillside, and he was just such a charismatic speaker that word spread and people would come listen to him. So on this occasion, Jesus was teaching to a large crowd of church people. So he got to the stage where he was going to talk relevance. He said two things. One, you are the salt of the earth, but if the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. Matthew 5 and verse 13. What is he talking about? He was telling these church folks, be relevant, be noticeable in the community, and not for the wrong reason. You have to have a positive effect on the community. That's what salt does. Salt flavors. If salt is not flavoring, then it is useless, and you will soon toss it in the garbage can and go buy a new brand of salt at the store. I hear Jesus saying to the big crowd, "Guys, this is our home turf. This is where we live and go to school and work and play soccer in the evenings. This is where we raise our children. Come on, God's people. You are very important to this community, but they don't know it." You can bring about positive change if you just be the best version of your Christian self. Mix and mingle with folks in the marketplace, at the mall, at the barbershop, at the gym. Go where they are and be salt. Start impacting them in a positive way that the guys will start cussing less and less. And the ones who would be smoking weed every day, they would start feeling bad that you see them damaging their bodies. And I could go on and on. Jesus is saying, touch lives with your character, with your reputation, with your attitude. You keep doing that, and one day, who knows, some of them will come to church with you. The second thing Jesus told them was so dope. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Matthew 5, verses 24 and 20, verses 14 to 16. You have a ton of t-shirts with Jesus' message on them, right? When do you wear those t-shirts? I know, when you're going to church. Shake my head. Jesus is saying, man, the perfect time to wear those shirts is when you're hanging out with your friends at the mall, or you're going to a big basketball game, or you're in college and it is party season. Wear your Jesus shirts to classes. Guess what? Somebody is going to come up to you one day and say something like, are you a Christian? Yes. Why do you ask? Because I think you wear the coolest shirts every time I see you. Can I ask you a question? And before you know it, you just engaged in an hour-long chat about Jesus and your faith. Shine, my friend. Shine. They need to notice that you are different. And sooner or later, there will be someone who is talking about the guy who wears the Jesus t-shirt. He is so cool. You never see him doing all the bad stuff that some of us do. I just thought I'd stop by and chat with you for a moment. You have an incredible gift, my friend, and that gift is called Jesus. And he wants you to sell him when you are out and about. Like that hostess in the restaurant. She didn't ask me if I was a Christian, but she didn't mind telling me about her Jesus tattoo. And I did not feel like condemning her. Are you glad to be a Christian? Well, begin to be salt or begin to be light, but whatever one you choose to be, make an impact on your community today.